His body seems in good shape, and for now, the bike is running well, through Germany and on into Poland. Is leg one, the easy leg, finally going to plan?
Well, I'm like 20k into Poland and I've broken another bloody spoke. It's day 9, that's 2 spokes broken on the rear. I carried 3 spare spokes and thought that maybe I'll break 1 or 2 in the whole world, and that's 2 in the first 2 weeks. So I don't know what to do.
His Polish physio phones ahead for help.
Rolled the last 40 kilometres into town here, which was exceptionally hilly. We're just into Poland here, about 40k, and come in, and the guys had a look at it and said basically that because the spokes have been cut to allow for the strange hub that I've got, it's weakened them, which is why they're breaking. So he's rebuilding my new wheel. Really pissed off, really annoyed that this has happened.
It's the nightmare scenario, and he's not yet halfway through leg 1. Has he got the right bike for the job? If there are any more serious delays, he might as well pack it in.
3 punctures and 2 broken wheels in 9 days. Doesn't bode well for 200 and something odd days. But we'll see if we can get some more miles in, see if we can get 100 miles despite the breakage.
Bike repaired, Mark ends the day having only done 80 miles. New day, fresh start, but now a constant worry about the bike.
7 AM, good night's sleep, gonna pack up and get on the road and try and make up the miles, which I didn't do yesterday.
But Mark won't allow himself to take things easily. Pushing himself and the bike hard, he achieves a record 113 miles in a day. Poland's being kind to him.
I'm heading for Krakow today. Really good on the bike today, bike's running really well, and back wheel pretty pleased with after 2 days. So stopping for lunch, really quite hungry, didn't eat enough this morning, but yeah, feeling good on the bike.
At last, Mark's hitting a good rhythm. Up early, push hard, and eat well. He needs 6,000 calories a day. That's equal to 6 Christmas dinners. Tough when you're a vegetarian. The farther from home, the more difficult it will become. Crossing into the Ukraine, he's got to eat, but the options are limited.
Food was horrendous, absolutely terrible. Last night I had, it was meant to be mushroom soup, but it was just oily stock water with chewy mushrooms at the bottom, and an omelette which was just, I don't know how they made it as bad. It was just a plain omelette, but it was just like rubber. It was the only vegetarian thing on a 12-page menu, and then this morning I was just given the same menu for breakfast, so I had to have the same again. Well, as you can see, it's a lovely day in Ukraine.
The poor food has an instant effect.
Felt absolutely terrible on the bike this morning, no energy, really, really low. So I'm in a sweet shop here, buy a wee shop here, the first one I could find, and I'm going to see if I can get some proper food.
Mark can't lose time seeking vegetarian food. He must decide which comes first, race or diet.
I'm normally a strict vegetarian, but well, when I don't have a choice, then I've got to eat. So all they had last night was fish. So I can only assume that's what it was. And I woke up in the middle of the night with sort of some drunken chat outside the window, and just felt terrible and was really sick. I still feel pretty bad this morning, but I'm just going to get up and keep going and see what it's like.
Sick and tired, Mark is in no fit state to be on the road. Low in energy, his concentration begins to slip.
Well, I just got pretty much knocked off the road by these guys. police car came past and shouted something at me, but I had no idea what he was saying, so I kept going and looked behind me, and that thing nearly took my head off.
And, adding to his misery, a whole new language.
This is just a nightmare to work out. I came into town along here and took the bypass instead of going into town, and each of these turn-offs, there's been no English at all on them, so I couldn't figure out which one I'm on. So I'm meant to be going on to M12, but there's nothing on that sign to say M12, so I've looked at these symbols here and managed to find them down here. So I think this is the correct road.
The scale of Mark's challenge is being put to the test. Can he, alone, feed himself, find shelter, spend 8 hours in the saddle, and stay fit day after day?
For the second night in a row, I was really sick. I don't know whether this is low sodium levels or overhydration or whatever, but that's quite a serious condition if that's what it is. So I need to really address that. I feel fine now. I've got a cold, but yeah, terrible night's sleep.
Sick again, his body weakening from lack of food, Mark must call on his mental strength to push him over the border into the next country.
Welcome to Romania. The first person when I crossed the border put his hand out and said, "Welcome to Romania." And ever since then, the people have just been amazing. It's such a relief to be here. The last 2 days have just been fantastic. The road quality's a million times better. Language which I don't understand, but at least it's our alphabet, and I feel good for it. It's tough. Every day's tough. And actually, the days when it's easy on the bike, the days when you're thinking, I can do this, you're just spinning along, that's when the niggles which you don't notice on the tough days come in. Like, that's when you notice that you're really saddle sore and that your wrists hurt and that your hands hurt, and all the stuff which is there all the time, but you don't notice when it's pouring with rain or your bike's breaking or other stuff's going on. Sorry, I'm just whinging now. But hey, it's not easy. Dream's hard. It's nice.
So much of what Mark has set out to achieve depends on his mental state. Happiness equals faster miles. He's back in the groove.
Today pushed out 200 kilometres. 200 kilometres so far, so my biggest day by a bit of a stretch. Legs are feeling it, and very much looking forward to a day off in Istanbul.
As his route takes him further south, through Romania, across Bulgaria and down into Turkey, there's a new challenge: the hills and the heat.
It's blisteringly hot. It's 1:30 in the afternoon, and it's okay when you're cycling, but when you stop, it's just unbelievable. It just hits you. The warm wind is pretty nasty, actually. You think a nice breeze would be nice, but the wind's hotter than the air. Does that make sense? I don't know. It's pretty horrible.
It's 40 degrees and he's sweating heavily. Most of us drink 1 or 2 litres a day. Mark needs 8 to 10. He can't carry that much, so must make regular stops.
I've come across these sort of watering holes here. These sort of little water stops, which are for the truckers, and a little cafe which is fortunate because I'm almost entirely out of water, and how far it is to the next town. So I'm going to go in, have a cup of tea. Done 5 hours riding, 75 kilometres. That shows how hilly it's been.
İtalyan mısın?
English.
No, Scotland.
Skovraya.
Scotia.
Ha, İskoçya.
Scotia.
İskoçya.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4.
3.
3. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, yes, yeah.
Even in the midday heat, he must keep eating. And if Mark fails to drink enough, he'll become dehydrated, lose power, and his body temperature will rise. A vicious circle. When we catch up with him, a day from Istanbul, he's beginning to dream of water in any form.
I knew that there would come the time when I would sort of pray for rain. I'm not there yet, but well, this is pretty warm. Nice part of the world. Plenty of hills. It's pretty brutal. So this is just all salt sweats, salt marks. So that's, you can just see all over me. That's the amount of salt I'm going to have to put back in today. If I'm not going to. I think this is why I was sick in Ukraine, because I was sweating so much and losing so much salt and then not replacing it. So, live and learn. I've got to be pretty careful where I get water, but these little fountains at the side of the road tend to be really good spring water. So I've been filling up all through Eastern Europe, down through Ukraine, Bulgaria at these stops. The hotter the country, the more they are. Every 10k you tend to pass these little water fountains.
His mood is good, the bike's running well, he's not been sick again, and the end of leg one is finally in sight.
I just want to get there, and I'm still just focusing on the next mile, and I try not to think too far ahead. Still got a long way to go. I think you'd scare yourself too much. I wouldn't mind 18,000 miles of this. I can do this. First sight of Istanbul, I think.
For the lone cyclist, a city of 12 million people is a tough way to end the day.
This is tough. This is not fun.
And it's a long way into the city centre.
I just want to get there right now. We've got 10k to go, I think, but this is tough. This is absolutely emotionally draining the last hour into Istanbul. Just scared me. So many cars just screeching around me and so many near misses. This is horrible. That was the scariest bit of cycling I've ever done. Is that it? That was good. Leg one over. I need some food and bed and rest.
The last miles are cruel, but amazingly, he's right on schedule. He's covered the 2,200 miles in 22 days.
Great night's sleep last night. Waking up, knowing I have a break, I can get my laundry done, get the bike fixed, and prepare properly for leg two.
You're famous.
Day off is all about eating up. We had a huge breakfast, and we had a second breakfast of stuff we took from breakfast. This is early lunch. We'll get something a bit later on, then we'll get dinner. Just gonna keep eating. Constantly hungry after that sort of expenditure, so it's not a problem. Is it possible to have the same again?
Same like this.
Okay.
Leg one has proved body and bike can, when pushed, take 100 miles a day. But he's barely an eighth of the way round, and there are 12 countries, 3 continents to go. And the going can only get tougher.
Well, this is Europe, and that's Asia. That's for tomorrow. That's leg 2.
Tomorrow, Mark arrives in the Muslim world in search of food, but it's Ramadan.
I've got some nuts and this disgusting seeping banana.
He risks being taken hostage near Afghanistan.
Absolutely had enough of the Pakistani police. They're a bunch of...
And the men of India find him rather attractive.
Oh,
oh, you're wonderful, I love you, and complimenting my physique. I don't know how to handle it. I'm not used to it.
For video and audio updates from Mark's adventure, go to bbc.co.uk/Scotland Outdoors. And his epic journey continues here on BBC Two Scotland tomorrow night at 7.